Hello, this is Dr. Mary Jo Ruggieri, and welcome to Balancing the Elements of Life, Understanding Energy Medicine Part 3. Today we're going to look at, the qualities of each of the elements, but we're going to focus on the foods. Now it's interesting because in the last two series we talked about energy moves from source to form. We talked about as energy steps down, it becomes a manifestation of every quality that is stepping down in that energy. We talked about the body work, we talked about exercises. Now it's interesting because food is all energy. If we understood the concepts of energy medicine, we would understand why we are saying that energy medicine is the future of our health care. And we have to look at what we are, the quality of our vibration, and we have to look at the fact that we're more than just a body. Energy deals with mental, physical, emotional things, foods, colors, the whole thing. So today we're going to look at the 5 elements: ether, air, fire, water, earth, but we're going to look at those elements and the qualities of them around the foods. Each of the elements have certain foods that they have a relationship with. Today I'm happy to welcome 2 of our faculty and our students that have graduated from the Institute of Holistic Health Careers. They both are polarity practitioners and they work in the area of energy medicine. Paul and Letitia. And what's really nice here is that we have set up every element. Now remember also that the elements are, we can start with blue is ether, and again it's a color. Ether, and air is green. Again, colors step down. We have yellow for fire, orange for water, and red for earth. So what I'd like to do is to start with Paul. Ether is all. Ether is a space. It's where all the elements manifest out of ether. So when we talk about ether foods or ether eating habits, what's the parameter with ether?
Well, ether is about spaciousness. It's about serenity. It's about our connection to source. It's about the color blue. So anything that creates our serenity, our spacious sense of spaciousness, the space in our bodies, our joints, everything that has to do with space is about ether, and ether creates that space so that the other elements can work.
You know, and it's really nice because when we, both of you are teaching in our polarity classes, is that when we teach about the elements and we teach about the qualities of foods, we have what we call an ether lunch, and they have to be quiet. There's no talking. I mean, how amazing for us to understand that if we become quiet and enjoy a peaceful dinner, that it's much more what we call sattvic, but much more peaceful, and that's about ether.
Yes, it is. And it's about our connection to source, because as soon as we become still and quiet, we immediately increase our connection to source.
And that's a quality of a source of energy that's so powerful. We don't spend enough time connecting to our roots and to source.
And as soon as we connect to source, as soon as we still ourselves, we become better practitioners.
Yes. And for people who really want to work on quality of health and health care, they have to work with all 5 of the elements. Now, Letitia, we can go to air. I mean, air, it's fun because it's so much fun to see which foods people resonate with. I mean, I'm a water person, and I resonate, and I love watermelon, I love water foods. Now, and you're someone person. So let's talk about air. Air is the color of green, yes, which was just pretty cool. So
air is very quick and very light, and the foods that reflect that are light foods like fruits, nuts. They're very light, and they enable your movement. Air is very much about movement and quick-wittedness. You know, it keeps you very intellectually active. And those foods support that. So those are the 2 of the types that support it.
Now with air, are there certain qualities like foods that grow a certain amount of space and so on? So what with air would be?
Air reflected again in the air, and air foods grow 6 feet and above on trees, for example.
And Dr. Stone believed that different areas within the earth and above the earth actually had their own vibrational qualities, and that because these foods grow at that particular level, they also imbibe those qualities.
Yes.
So that there are vibrations there that affect the foods that grow there.
Well, you know, and I think if people understood what their constitution is, it's like what is Ayurvedic medicine, what is Chinese medicine? They look at the person, the whole person. They look at the constitution of the person. Am I more watery? Are you more airy? I mean, are you more ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph? Each of those have qualities of energy. So foods match with that. Now, I'm a water person, but yet water, what does water need? Water needs to be aerated. So I have to eat a lot of green, fresh vegetables and green foods. I drink green liquids too, like chlorophyll and so on, to help keep my air. So let's move to fire. And what do you, all of these are, it's fun, what are those for fire?
Okay, again, fire. The idea of fire is fuel, and these foods are good fuel. They provide fuel for the body. Beans, legumes, and the rice, they are fuel for the body. Also, we have spices, ginger and garlic. Again, they stimulate the digestion, which fire is all about digestion. It stimulates that process. The fire of the digestion are stimulated by these foods, and as well as the fuel, it gives fuel to the body.
And the color of, I mean, it's interesting because each of the elements has a vibratory color. And fire is about, yellow is about, if you look at fire, it's yellow, right? And the fire foods, fire is about digestion. If people understand that they have digestive issues, they might have a fire imbalance. And the fire food, so you would, if you have a fire imbalance, you need more of the balancing of the fire, because all of the rice and the grains, especially grains, give good fuel to digestion. Okay, let's look at water. Okay, Paul, I love the color of water, and the water is, again, it's a slower element. Remember, elements move from source to form. Air is very quick and light, but as it steps down, it goes to fire. Fire is about transforming. Fire is about metabolism and digestion. The water is a very interesting element because water is heavier, it starts to slow down. It's about, lymphatic systems, and so we have watery foods.
Yes, water is about flowing and
nurturing
and relationships and all of those things that go with families, really, and relationships. And that the water plants grow from 0 to 2 feet.
So the water foods grow from 0 to 2 feet. Okay, that's good.
Above ground.
Above ground, yeah.
And they generally are very watery, and they will help balance us in our water element.
Well, and just think about it, 80% more of our body is water. So even drinking water is important. And if you look at the foods, the cantaloupes, the watermelons, cucumbers, that we need a certain amount of balance. I think what's important when we look at the elements, if we can understand the qualities of each of the elements, we're going to be able to relate to ourselves. Like if I'm a water person, I've got to get enough water. Well, we all need enough water. But if I'm dehydrated more, then maybe there's too much air. Air is drying. Air dries out water. So having the knowledge, and this is what's so important, having the knowledge of the elements and the energy and the vibration of elements gives you a whole different way of looking at healthcare.
And then I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, and it was kind of a segue into the earth, was that water needs boundaries. It provides those boundaries. So that water tends to overflow. At times it becomes expanded and too much. So sometimes we need to balance that with earth to create the boundaries for water.
And earth, and Letitia's a little more of an airy person, so and you find like if you get too hyper or too airy, that you love sweet potatoes, don't you?
Are my comfort foods.
Earth are your comfort
When I
foods.
can feel that I'm getting too fast, too up in my head, too nervous, too anxious, I go to the comfort foods of earth.
And earth, they grow under the ground, right?
Yes.
So this is interesting. Even like Paul was saying, even the foods where they are growing, instead of trying to figure what diet and so on and so forth, if we understood our own constitution, if we understood what elements are in balance or out of balance in our body, this is the medicine of the future. Then we can look at foods as truly foods for health and foods that heal. So we have potatoes. Who doesn't like a good potato? And of course the color is earth, and red colors, carrots. things in tubulars that grow under the ground. And a good baked potato calms people. Isn't it interesting? If we understood and could teach our children some of the what element they are, they wouldn't have to feel like, oh geez, I'm not, something's wrong with me. They could say, you know what, I truly am an air person. I have more fire qualities. A person who's more mesomorphic and has, fire's about saying yes and meaning yes, saying no and meaning no. So if they understood understood the elements, understood who they really were at their core constitutional level, I think we'd have a better healthcare system. So thank you for bringing this all together for us. And basically what we'd like to say is that if you take the time to understand balancing the elements of life and understand the really, really core quality of your life is about vibration and the energy that you come to life with. So it's a new healthcare system, and it's an old healthcare system. Like I said, Ayurveda and Chinese medicine are 6,000 years old. So again, balancing the elements of life gives you tools in which to have vitality and healthcare, good healthcare. Thank you.